Hi everyone, today I'll be fixing my washing machine. It broke a couple of days ago, refusing to spin the motor with a beeping sound indicating a fault. Before doing anything, make sure that the appliance is turned off and the power cord is removed from the wall socket. Washing machines run on mains voltage and can easily kill you if you're not careful. Do not proceed if you're not certain in what you're doing. To inspect the fault, I remove the top cover of the machine, which is held in place with 2 screws on the back. I first inspected the main board for any visual faults, and since I was unable to find any fault with the board, I flipped the machine on its side and inspected the motor. I then took out one of the brushes and saw that it was almost all gone, barely touching the commutator. The brushes are held in place with 2 screws, and depending on their placement, they can be quite tricky to be removed. Once removed from the motor, you can remove them from the plastic housing, revealing the brass housing. While the brushes are out, it is recommended that you also clean the commutator bar with some sandpaper to remove any carbon deposit left from the old brushes. Grab a piece of very fine sandpaper, 400 grit or more, and hold it next to the commutator while gently rotating it with your hand. Make sure that you cover the entire commutator area and spin it until it's all nice and shiny. Also, grab a small knife and run it in between the copper plates of the commutator to get rid of any carbon deposit there. If you can, it is best to replace the entire housing, but since I was unable to find the right part for my machine, I got generic brushes and I replaced them in the brass housing. I first cut the old brush and removed it from the housing. As you can see, compared to the new one, it was almost all gone. While soldering, make sure that you use powerful soldering iron or keep it long enough, as the brass will suck up a lot of heat and act as a heatsink. Add more solder as needed and make sure that it's all flown nicely on the brass. Insert the new brush using the same orientation as before, and to keep it in place while soldering the wire, you can use a piece of electrical tape. Use some tweezers to keep the wire in place while you're soldering. To make the process easier, you can pre-tin the wire that's on the brush. After you fix the first brush, use the same procedure on the second brush and replace that one as well, keeping in mind the orientation of the brush. Once they're both soldered, then you can put them back in their plastic housing. To install them back on the machine, first plug the wire connector and reinstall the screws that hold it in place. After both of them are in place, make sure that the motor can freely spin in both directions and that there are no strange sounds coming from the brushes. This will ensure that they are properly aligned with the commutator and that the machine will run smoothly. To see if your fix worked, run the machine empty, and if everything is okay, you should keep the drum spinning. If you liked this video, please hit that like button, comment below for any questions, and make sure to subscribe for more similar videos in the future.